Man United 3, Brighton 2, guys. What a game! What a game! To be honest with you, I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words with that performance. For all of the positive people and not even positive people, for the bit of positivity, let me take the 3 points here, wrap them up, and leave them to the side. Yeah, because that's the only positive about the game. Let's leave that where it was, okay, where it is, because it is important to remember we did get 3 points and we did actually win the game. Now that bit's done, let's get to the real part of my match reaction. Because for me, I think the performance was disgraceful. I really do think the performance was awful. I'm beginning to get very, very worried. People can call this reactionary. People can call this after one game. It's not after one game. It's not even after 2 games. This is after a continual assessment of where we're at or where we're not at, for me on a personal level. I just think that the way that we were so open, so easy to play against Brighton, really worried me. Our lack of system really worried me. Our lack of reaction to being under the cosh really worried me. And we're playing in moments, we're playing in instances. And look, you can say that the players showed a fight because you go 1-0 down deservedly because Brighton were the better team early on. Then we show a little bit of fight, good cross from Bruno from the set piece, and we forced the goal. We're going at 1-1. Then you can say we showed good fight and character the first 10 minutes of the second half, got in front, and then obviously it went downhill from there, and Brighton were just all over us. I think Paul Pogba, I think was poor today. I think he doesn't look right. He doesn't look right. He just doesn't look fit. I think Bruno, now this is, Bruno will get the man of the match today. He did get the man of the match today, I think. And he had 3 goal involvements. And I understand that. And this is the fine margins with football. But I don't think he actually had a good game. Look, people can say without his goal involvements, what do you want us to do? I understand that. So fair play. On one hand, he had to do it. But I'm talking about the bigger problem in our midfield, about it working properly. We can't, it's not sustainable to play in moments. It's not sustainable to play in little pockets of time, little periods of time where somebody just picks out the pass. Because as you can see, it's not sustainable, because look what happened against Crystal Palace. We couldn't play in those moments. It's not sustainable. So I don't think Bruno actually had a good game. However, when we needed him to make the right choice, he did. And an excellent penalty. Matic, I think, was the best player on the park. He's my man of the match. I think he proves that he's the best person we have in that position, and he's the one constant in midfield. Like I said earlier on the stream with Mark, I was like, the problem we've got with our midfield is that it blows hot and cold. You don't know how Pogba's going to play right now. You're not really sure how Bruno's going to play right now. You know how McTominay's going to play right now, which isn't very good. And Fred, okay, fair enough. You could argue that he should be in there. But what you do know is when you play Matic in there, he will give you a solid between a 6 and an 8. Do you know what I mean? He will be solid. He probably average out at about 7 for his position, for his role. I was impressed with what he had to do today. I was impressed with Luke Shaw today. I thought he done really well. He was aggressive. He was up and down. And yes, he had Lamptey to go against, and Lamptey ended up winning a penalty and did quite well. But I think Luke Shaw marshalled that quite well, and went well against, I think it's Mopé for most of it, or Trossard, whoever was, they were interchanging quite a lot, Brighton. So I think Luke Shaw done well. I thought he was bright. I want to talk about Wan-Bissaka as well, because again, he was atrocious for their penalty, which was their first goal. He's got the ball at his feet, right? And I always talk about Wan-Bissaka's feet. He's got the ball at his feet. He has a chance to either play quickly or make a simple pass. He does neither. He tries to beat the guy. Was it Trossard running after him, or was it Connolly? I can't remember. Faffs about with it, and then he gets a second bite at it. So if it wasn't enough to learn from the first bit, he gets a second bite at it where he's running back towards his goal. And he could either play the pass back or play it, hook it around the corner, or pass it to someone else. He does neither. Tries to turn, beat the player again, loses the ball, and they keep the ball, work it over to the other side, over to Lamptey's side, and then Bruno comes across and gives away a penalty. Awful from Wan-Bissaka for me. People, where I will sympathise with Wan-Bissaka is people blaming Wan-Bissaka for the constant ball over the top, where I think it was Solly March kept getting in. Listen, Solly March was coming for all the months of the year. He was taking the piss out of us. He was coming from March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. It was a pathetic excuse of a setup. And I'm saying that system. And I'm also looking at Mason Greenwood. I know it was after Mason Greenwood come off, I think, when they scored. Was it? Yeah, obviously it was. But what I'm saying is that ball was always on. And Mason Greenwood had to do a lot, maybe even a little bit more to stop that. But even away from Mason Greenwood and just Wan-Bissaka, this goes back to what I'm saying about the tactics and the setup of the team, which is concerning me. Against Palace, the warning signs were on the door from the first minute. Yeah, Ayew and Zaha isolating our defenders, getting in down the wings as well. With Townsend, it was a common theme. We couldn't stop it the whole game. It was like we was playing with 10 men. Every time we went forward, we were just susceptible as a counter attack as we were going forward. The same today. Brighton had a pattern, a clear system, a way of playing where they wouldn't move from it and kept patient, and you could see their clear build-up. This is Brighton. I couldn't see what our clear build-up was. You could see what Brighton's was. They kept going in down that side. Wan-Bissaka was tucking in maybe too much. That ball over the top was where March was in acres. We just couldn't stop it. We even went to when Pogba needed to come off, and I was saying, look, he needed to come off. It was for Fred. I said to myself, Fred's probably going to come on and shore us up here. Good move. We need to. I wanted Van der Beek to come on somewhere, but it wasn't to be. But Fred should come in and sort this out. It was no different. It was no different. They were saying in the live fan forum after the game, where people was like, when Fred came on, they said he was really good. I didn't see that. I saw us under the cost even more. De Gea made a fantastic save. Trossard hit the post. Trossard hit the so I think it was March who hit the post. Trossard then went on to hit the crossbar in the second half, hit a shot over the bar. They were just raining shots on us. We couldn't stem the flow. To me, that's an issue. Tactically, coaching-wise, that setup, it's an issue. We're looking at it from a tactical point of view, and we don't know how to stem the flow. We don't know how to change things during the game to stop another team dominating us. Because let's not get it twisted. For large parts of the game, we were dominated by Brighton. For large parts against Crystal Palace, we were dominated by Palace. These are just facts, guys. So I can't help but look at it and go, do you know what? I am concerned in that area, in the area of our game. The fact that we're just not looking like we can dominate teams, and we struggled. So, yeah, my man of the match was Matic. Solskjaer got away with it. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it is a handball. Amazing circumstances. What I will say, again, I don't want to be all negative. I'm picking out the tiny little bits of positives. The fact that we was able to go 1-0 down and get back to level just before half-time, that shows character. The fact that the first 5 to 10 minutes, we looked sharper on the ball. And Rashford took his goal really well. I'm going to get on to Rashford now because I think in the first half, I didn't like what I saw from him. I was saying he had to up his levels against Lamptey if he wanted any joy. Second half, especially the first 5-10 minutes, he took his goal brilliantly. And I tweeted out in big block capitals, that's the Marcus Rashford I want to just see consistently. Not in moments, I want to see that consistently. Really well taken goal, do great for his confidence. Hopefully he can kick on. And another little bit of positive is the fact that actually conceding in almost the last kick of the game, to be able to put a move together that actually forced the corner is a positive. You know, we could have played crap. We could have just gone into a shell. No one wanted the ball and we might not have got it forward. That's a positive. And obviously Harry Maguire coming in, we nearly actually scored from that header, to be fair to him, is a positive. But other than that, not much positive. So roll on the next game against Brighton where, you know, you expect to see a lot of changes. And hopefully, I'm looking at it as a positive in terms of hopefully we can turn that negative, awful, shocking performance into a positive to go, at least we won. And we've got a basis and a platform to move on. If we beat Brighton again with a different team, that breeds a little bit of confidence. It'll actually be 3 wins in a row, even though the performance might not have been there, because even against Luton, it wasn't convincing. So we roll on to the Spurs game, but I'm worried because Jose Mourinho will be licking his lips, regardless of what happens against Brighton, win, lose or draw. We can't draw, win or lose in the Carabao Cup in midweek. Jose Mourinho will be looking at that thinking, I know the best way to beat Manchester United. And Ollie has got to do something different. My man of the match is Matic, and I am out of here. Peace.